Hi everyone. This is Senzi, and this is Meaningful Conversations. So we have just shot a couple of vlogs, and I just thought that I can, just share a little bit on the other topic that we spoke about earlier. We were talking about encourage. How do you remain encouraged? In a ne, dark times or trying times and whatever. But on the flip side of that, I just wanted to share on how those times that are trying times and those very challenging times are actually essential for our growth. Um, they the reality of it is that when you go into that space that is challenging, you are going to come out um, different from how you entered, you know. But it is also essential and it's important what you are going to do whilst you're going through that challenging time. Um, what you're going to feed, yourself, in terms of mentally, what are you going to feed yourself physically, emotionally, spiritually, what are you going to feed yourself. And I was just thinking about, how even with the seasons that we have, winter, what happens when winter is around and it's a winter season. We wait it out, we wait it out. We just make sure we adapt ourselves to that season, but then we wait it out. However, there's still hope that spring is going to follow suit, and then we will have to put away the winter clothing and go into like spring mode, with the anticipation that summer's around the corner. So, when we are going through those challenging times, we wait them out, we adapt to them, we function from a space of not wanting to be out of them or fight them, because then you exert a lot of energy if you start doing that, and you end up not even benefiting from what the season was supposed to teach you, or what the season was supposed to out of you, you know. And so what happens in winter is that people have already plowed and they have already thingy their seeds, planted the seeds. But what happens is that you just continue to water. You don't see anything, any shoot, you don't see anything sprouting, but you know that there is a seed that has been planted, and there's nothing else that you can do but wait. And wait from a space of expectation, and wait from a place of hope that it is going to be, this seed that I planted will become a plant. From that plant, I am going to the plant is going to bear fruits, and those fruits are going to be part of my sustenance, right? But when you are still going through that season where nothing is showing, nothing is happening, you are waiting in expectation and in hope, and you don't fight it, you don't try to rush it, you know. So and it's essential as well to also look at it from a point, from the perspective that that season, as unbearable as it might feel, as uncomfortable as it feels, but it is essential for you. And it is important while you are in that season then to rather find out and be about trying to find out, okay, what is this teaching me, what is this season producing in me, what is the season creating? Because clearly there is something that is important that needs to come out of me through the season. Do you know what I mean? And I think, we have these seasons throughout our lives. One of the things that I have now only started to not learn, because I think we've learned that, well, life is a huge challenge. Like, life is a cycle of continual challenges, right? But I think that one thing that I've started to learn lately is embracing it and knowing how essential it is for me to go through those challenges, because it's in within those challenges that something is about to be birthed out of me. And uh, the importance of whatever that needs to be birthed requires for something else to die in its place, you know. And I was just thinking about Matthew 5 verse 4. It's part, Matthew 5 speaks about the Beatitudes, where Jesus is teaching. He's teaching the 5,000, was it the 5,000 at the time, or was it's just saying the mountain, on the mountain? Yeah. But it talks about the fact that Jesus talks about the Beatitudes. But what I love about the Beatitudes is that it's saying that you can't have one without the other. So you should be blessed when you are placed. I'm just going to quote it. you know and specifically Matthew 5 verse 4, which says, God blesses those who mourn, for they will be comforted. So basically, you cannot be comforted if you are not mourning. It's as if, what, for you to be able to receive the gift of what comfort is, you need to go through the pain of mourning. Because if you are not in a space where you are mourning, then you are not going to appreciate the comfort that comes from you being in a place of mourning. So basically, in life, most of the gifts that we receive and the things that we kind of like desire are not going to, in themselves, they don't carry the beauty of the experience that we want to get out of them without having to go through the pain that will make it apparent that, okay, this thing has now changed the experience that I was experiencing when I was still in that season. And now you can appreciate the food that you eat because you were very hungry. Like just imagine when you go through, let's say you have constantly been eating and you never got to experience hunger. It doesn't matter what you will eat. It's really not going to be relevant, and it's not going to make much of a difference. Do you understand what I mean? You might ingest it, but you are not going to receive the pleasure out of ingesting the food that you are ingesting if you are not in a space of experiencing hunger for that food. And then you can be a person that is so hungry that you are given just a piece of bread, but that piece of bread will taste better than probably like how many other cakes that you've had in the past, but you ingested them when you were still okay, when you were still not as hungry as what you are right now. So I guess what is essential in life, in living, and in the experiences that we receive out of life is not necessarily the things themselves, is the experience that you receive out of the thing itself, out of whatever that you are, whatever gift that God is going to bless you with. The importance is not the gift itself, but it's the experiencing the gift that is essential. And I hope it's clear, and I hope it encourages anyone that listens and is in a state of just feeling exhausted from just going through a repetitive cycle of just hearing about losing loved ones, and hearing about others going through stressful times, to say that let's learn from the season, whatever that we need to learn. Let's be encouraged that it will pass, but let's also get the most out of it. Let's get the most out of it. Let's get the growth that we need to get out of it, because it is essential for us to get that, because it is what is necessary for us to be able to appreciate the gifts that are going to come after this. So yeah, that is Senzi, and that was a little piece of conversation that I wanted to have with you guys this week. So thank you for giving me a piece of your time. Bye.